Okay, everybody stop messaging me now. I'm on the air. So stop messaging me and flogging my thing up here. We've got a lot of things to talk about. As you can see outside, it is raining and everything. And I want to let you know that I'm doing okay and I'm alive. I know Barbara Poe probably wishes I was dead, but I'm not dead. But I'm alive. And don't worry, Jeremy, Stephen, and John and Beth Ann, I'm fine. Just let you know I'm okay. And I'm sure Barbara probably wishes I was dead. I'm sure Patricia Tyler, your mother talks to, and the other Barbara and whoever else she's talked to over there, the old place where I used to live, probably wish something happened to me. But no, we're doing fine. The power is on here. We have windy conditions out there, as you can see. That's what it looks like out there. We are outside on my balcony now, but it's pretty windy out here. We've had lots of damage, like about 600 at the time that's being recorded. Almost 700,000 people here are without power in the state of North Carolina. That's not counting South Carolina. And they're predicting possibly up to over 2 million people to be without power statewide come time the storm is over with. Another thing is that they're urging people, the authorities are urging people to stay home. They do not want people to venture back here because of the flooding waters in New Bern. Everyone has no power in New Bern. Everyone in about almost half the people in Washington here in the city, meaning down where the waterfront is under, a lot of roads are underwater. And they do not want people to venture back home because the surge isn't that bad. Because what's going to happen is we're going to get rain here today and tomorrow, and probably on Sunday. And they don't want people to venture home right away because that will impede all the repairs of all the electric groups to come in to restore service and to remove debris off the road from trees and fallen power lines and structural damages, so the necessary repairs can be made. Bunch of government partners have been contacted for help in this area, like National Guard, for example, and the Army, and other places are assisting with efforts of relief and also shelter efforts, and are volunteering to have shelters put up, makeshift shelters put up, and other states if necessary, if it's necessary. But so far the governor has not issued that order here for North Carolina at this time. 3 people so far that we know in the surrounding counties have died in this county at the time of this video. There may be more people that have died but have not been reported, casualties in these flooded areas. One guy was connecting a extension cord to go just share with someone outside, or to bring electric over to a neighbor's house and electrocute it. He got electrocuted, and then his body was found outside his house by his other family members there where they were staying, and they discovered his body out there. A baby and a daughter also was killed because the daughter had a heart attack. She sustained a heart attack, and the rescue people weren't able to get to her in time, and that's why they believe she died. More investigations over other deaths too will be assessed in the upcoming days after this storm has left. What's going to happen is the storm has actually come upon shore in the South Carolina area, in North Carolina beyond Winston and near Hanover, not in Virginia, kids, but Hanover, North Carolina, because there's a Hanover here too as well. And it's taken refuge and came on shore there. And now it is moving sort of like a west movement, and will come back around and hit up towards New England and be an extratropical low, which means it will be no longer a tropical storm, but it will still pack a lot of heavy rains and some winds with this storm. People up north are encouraged to take heed of warnings in Virginia, because they will also get some of Florence's wrath in the form of an extratropical storm, as remnants do go up to affect the state of Virginia. As a matter of fact, some of the outer bands of Hurricane Florence are affecting Virginia in some places today, right now. Some of the band squalls they had last night and today are a result of those outer feeder bands of Florence, this rain bands. Now, of course, Virginia is going to be affected with tropical storm winds on, we believe, Monday into Monday night into Tuesday before it heads further north as it becomes less tropical up north to New England, to where New Jersey, Maryland, and all that is. So therefore, there may be some flooding in Virginia as a result of this happening because of torrential rains. It has had a history of raining here, as you can see out there. It is actually coming down out there pretty good, and the winds are blowing kind of somewhat. We've had gusts of probably here at Love FM up to around 60 to 70 miles an hour last night. The power did flicker about 2 or 3 times. We had to reset the battery breakers and everything because of surges due to the power fluctuations and variations. But today it's been pretty peaceful and the power has been pretty stable. However, a lot of people around us have lost power. And so far here where we are in our apartments and at our studio, we have not. Internet did go out this morning from Suddenlink at approximately 6 o'clock a.m. and was off till around 11:43 a.m. this morning. That's when it was restored. All services were out at that time, phone, cable, and internet all across the board. So all people that were in this complex lost their services for a period of 6 or 7 hours, 6.5 to 7 hours. So we'll keep you up to date with more updates of what's going on. There has been fires at a Massachusetts in other news. There has been fires at a Massachusetts refinery up in Massachusetts. There's an investigation going on as to what led to those mysterious explosions that took place there at the refinery at a Massachusetts fuel facility. Meanwhile, a couple shootings have happened in Texas. There is an officer who is under investigation for shooting someone who was disarmed down in Texas over a shooting. Meanwhile, lots of churches and areas around here have opened their doors, and even residents have opened their doors to act as a temporary shelter or refuge during the times of the storm in the area where it is not flooded. Even though the surge may not be as bad as you have, it may not look that way right now, but all authorities here in the government, as well as I, am asking you to stay away so that the people can do the necessary repairs like we said earlier. It is so crucial that you do that. Lots of flooding is around New Bern. Lots of areas have been inundated and flooded by water. Lots of areas, lots of people most people there, or no people have power or electricity in New Bern. Over 600 and some thousand people have lost power at the timing at the beginning of the onset of this podcast as it was recorded here in North Carolina. That's just North Carolina alone, not South Carolina combined. There has been a number of power outages in South Carolina too, and extensive flooding also is being felt there as well. As you can see, we are experiencing a modern rain shower with some gust squalls of wind from time to time from tropical storm Hurricane Florence. That's what we're experiencing here at our complex here in Washington, Beaufort County. A curfew has been in effect in Washington, and also in Beaufort County after 8 p.m. You cannot be outside after 8 p.m. until 8 a.m. in the morning, till further notice. However, schools have been canceled in North Carolina, South Carolina, and also up in Virginia, surprisingly, even though they haven't had any conditions really or any rafts. Some people said, why did they evacuate the people from East Coast? Well, it's better to be, as the old saying goes, safe than sorry. Because at first it was looking like the hurricane was going to stall up in the mountains and head on up to Virginia. But then the course changed, as a lot of times things do, because these things are so unpredictable. But like the old saying goes, it's better to be safe than sorry, because what happens if it did that? And those millions of people were still there inhabiting in their places. They would not be alive today, or they would be their lives would be seriously in jeopardy. So it's better to be safe than sorry, and that's the reason why they cancel schools up in Hanover and Richmond and areas in that area in Virginia today, because of that same reason. It's Michael DeSilvas to keep you up to date on what's going on all here down in North Carolina and surrounding areas. The National Guard has been put here, as in call, and is also in our state, North Carolina. And also they have over 250 Red Cross people to come down here to assist with people in their homelessness and needs of assistance, financial and so forth, from the Red Cross Association, and a number of other National Guard and Army situations, and other federal partners are also helping. And of course, the governor's asking for all what he can get here in North and South Carolina. The governors are asking because they're going to need it, because lots of areas are going to be devastated and affected, not infected, but affected by these storms. So far, there has not been any water boiling bans to be issued in North Carolina, but that may actually change after the storm has gone away. This is Michael DeSilvas from DeSilvas' Media Services and Love FM. Keep you up to date on what's going on in the storm. Take care, everyone. I love you. Stay safe. Keep it right here for more updates.